Okay, on to the liver section. We're going to talk about jaundice. But first, I'm going to talk about liver function and then bilirubin for a little bit. So, liver function. Liver makes proteins for clotting and other functions, including albumin. It also detoxifies chemicals and metabolizes drugs. Makes proteins, detoxification, and finally it secretes bile to be stored in the gallbladder and eventually secreted into the small intestine. So that is the overall function of the liver. Now, our main topic is jaundice, but I need to preface by talking about heme metabolism and bilirubin excretion in the bile. So heme is a protein in the red blood cells, and heme, when it's broken down, will be broken down into unconjugated bilirubin. When we call it unconjugated, that basically means it's insoluble. Okay? So it's not going to be able to move around in the bloodstream unless it is bound to something, and so albumin bounds to it and makes it complex. And unconjugated bilirubin albumin complex. So now it's going to be floating around in the blood, and then it's going to eventually reach the liver. And in the liver has something called UDP glucuronyl transferase. I'm just going to call it UGT, as you can see I have trouble saying it. UGT in the liver takes your unconjugated bilirubin and it conjugates it. It basically adds a glucuronate molecule to that bilirubin and makes it a conjugated bilirubin. And the important thing is that now this is water soluble. Okay? So now you have water soluble bilirubin in the liver. It's going to be placed into the red blood cells and into the hepatocytes. And then it's going to be combined with other parts of bile, and it's going to be excreted. Okay? So you're going to be excreted into the gut as part of the bile. And so now you have conjugated bilirubin in the gut. And we have gut bacteria that's going to take this conjugated bilirubin and it's going to convert it into urobilinogen. Now there are a couple things that can happen now. Urobilinogen can either be excreted in feces as stercobilin. Stercobilin is what makes that feces brown. Okay, that's actually something important to know. Can be if the bilirubin is excreted in feces, your feces will be brown. The other thing that can happen is it can be reabsorbed in the small intestine, and then either return through the liver through the enterohepatic circulation. So that's like biorecycling, or it can become excreted in the urine as urobilin, and urobilin is what makes that urine yellow. It gives it that color. Okay, so that's it for bilirubin excretion. This is important. We're going to revisit this a lot in this jaundice lecture. So what is jaundice? Jaundice is abnormal yellowing of the skin and the sclera. Okay, sclera is that white part of your eyes that could turn yellow, and the yellowing occurs due to bilirubin deposition in the skin. If you have too much bilirubin in your blood, then it's going to deposit in your skin and your sclera, and it's going to turn yellow. You can get high levels of bilirubin either due to overproduction from that heme, or decreased excretion. Okay, so remember you have to excrete it this way. So that's how you can get jaundice. So now let's talk about cause.